Hi, I'm Dr. Tania Signal. I teach at Central Queensland University. In particular, we talk about the course Introduction to Human Development that I teach, and I use the MyVirtualChild program within that course. Over the years within teaching this kind of topic is that there's a lot of material for students to get their head around and to get familiar with. In particular, the first stages from conception through to about 18, 19. So when the MyVirtualChild program became available, I leapt on it and used it this year for the first time. And the response I got back from students was absolutely fantastic. A lot of students in the previous years had complained about the amount of material, trying to get their head around it. I got no complaints like that for once I started using the MyVirtualChild, because it meant the students actually got to interact and do and see how these things worked, and then linked back in with the textbook. So I got a lot of comments from students about how not only enjoyable they found it, but they found that by the time they'd gone through the MyVirtualChild to 18 years, that they'd done the study they needed for the exam without even noticing it, because they'd go back to their textbook and look up, when they're making a choice within the MyVirtualChild, what are they going to do, how are they going to respond. They'd go back to their textbook and look at what were the developmental implications of those kind of decisions, what were, attachment styles that might develop following, different types of events in the child's life. So it was a very useful pedagogical tool. I use it as the basis of a 30% essay within the course, and it was one of the first times ever in my teaching life where students had started work on the essay in week 1. The assignment's due in week 10. I had very few people getting in touch with me, like the week before saying, oh, I haven't started. Just about everybody in the course started ahead of time because they found it really interesting. And there was a lot of interaction on the discussion boards within the class about, what is my child doing? Travis has been a really good boy, or, I've now got a slow to warm up. I had students ringing me up saying, well, my husband's just left me and now I'm going to be a single mum. So the students really got into the MyVirtualChild, and it became a lot more real for them, and it meant that the dry material that they were in the textbook that they felt was dry material just came to life, and they interacted with it in a lot better manner than I'd seen in previous years. One person rang up and, as I said, really upset because their virtual relationship had broken up and now they were going to be a single parent. I had someone ring up and say that their child had been diagnosed with a learning disorder, and that they were finding very challenging and managing that, but at the same time their real child in their real life also had a learning disorder. So they found it very useful to have that synergy, and it helped them understand the material and get to grips with it more than they were doing just by reading the page. I found the support material that came with it absolutely invaluable. They're very well written, very well constructed. I use that as the basis of the essays and the essay topics that I set up. So the whole package is really good, both from a student point of view and from an instructor point of view.